All right, week 18, Seahawks versus the Cardinals. So Seattle, it favored by 3, and they have a remote chance of making the playoffs. They haven't been completely eliminated. I'm not sure what series of events outside of them winning need to occur for them to make it, but there is a chance. So I'm going to cover the game. Um, the model likes Seattle, gives them a 62% chance winning, favors them by about 3 points, which is about what the line is. I'm going to take Arizona. So uh, well, I'll kind of walk through. I'll walk you through my logic here. But what it really boils down to is the, and again, this is one of these cases where week 18, all bets are off. Uh, uh, you've got all sorts of crazy things going on. You got some teams really motivated to play because you've got, even though they're not in it, they're playing for contracts. Uh, you've got divisional rivalries. This is a division. I'm not sure I would call it a rivalry, but that notwithstanding, um, I'm just not really sure how much uh, how much I really think Seattle is a better team necessarily. And quite frankly, I think Kyler Murray can either be a really solid quarterback or he can stink. And as we saw in this last week, he came out and he looked like he was a man whose agent called him and said, "Dude, you better pick it up, or you're not going to get anything next year other than stand on the sideline of some team as a second stringer. That's so start showing us something." And he did. Uh, so with that, it's razor tight margin. The model is going to agree with this. The Bayesian, I'm going to exclude that just because it's kind of it's only a moderate. Uh, uh, the model slightly overestimates uh, Arizona and slightly underestimates Seattle. But again, just given the the nature of this game, I think it's going to be closer to that because I think Arizona has more to play for than what one might think. And let me phrase that: I think Kyler Murray has something to play for more than what uh, uh, than the rest of us are thinking. He's looking for another contract or someplace to go play. So when we come over here, look at the numbers. You can see why the model um, is going to favor Seattle. They have a superior passing game. I will point out that the running game, and again, some of that is just by necessity. Earlier in the year, they didn't have any quarterback whatsoever, so they had to run the ball, but they were still running it. But then again, it's also not going to reflect the updated passing numbers there as well. So with that, and if we come down here to the lower right, or I'm sorry, lower left, this here is a new table that I started putting in. So these are the scoring. I don't use how a team scores in the model, the raw model itself. I use it to make adjustments. But that's why that's what I use it for. So the red line is league average in points per game. So Seattle is right there on that cusp of average, a little bit below average on their offense. Their defense is below average. And then I come over here for Arizona. Their offense is well below average, and then their defense is giving up a lot of points over here as well. But the thing that I would also point out is, uh, um, that Seattle defense is they're giving up. Both the offenses are, when you look at the overall distributions, they look pretty similar. And particularly with Kyler Murray coming in, I think under the Kyler Murray, they're probably much more similar to what Seattle's offense is. I have not done that analysis, but just when you look at the points per week. So then when we come over here to the right, uh, certainly both of these teams, they're having troubles protecting their quarterback for sure. This tight margin over here for Arizona is actually not a good thing. It tells me that they're consistently giving up more sacks than what they should. Meanwhile, down here for Seattle, it just tells me that they've had some good games, they've had some bad games, and this is kind of how in the model is it's going to kind of match up. Arizona struggling with those interceptions. I think that's been Kyler Murray's whole career. When Kyler Murray is on and he's putting his effort into it, I think he's a solid quarterback. But then he can come out and just really stink as well. You see that over here with some of the turnovers as well. Uh, uh, and then when we see this over here, Seattle, again, they're going to have to come out. I think Seattle, if they come out and they're motivated and and they play their game, they should be okay. and that's assuming that Kyler Murray does not come out and just look like a super stud. If Kyler Murray is really planning saying, "Hey, I need to get that next big contract, and I'm going to work my ass off this week, and I'm going to put up 400 yards of total offense myself," um, and he might, and I think he has the ability to, and I think Seattle is soft in the areas where he can do that and he can spoil it. And Week 18, I think that is a huge factor that for players. They want to be that spoiler. And so that 3 point spread, these games have been closer, and I can see Arizona come out and making this a game. So anyhow, if you like what you listen to, click like and subscribe. If you've got questions, comment, drop me a note.